So good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. I am Melsh Karinom Bayan O. Eronico, and I'm here to discuss my assigned topic for today. My assigned topic for today is 2 lessons, which is all about the type of customer and customer target group. So first, let us all discuss the type of customer. But before that, allow me first to read my learning objectives. So for your information, so these learning objectives is composed of my two lessons that I will be going to discuss to you. So the first learning objective is to identify and describe the different types of customers an entrepreneur may encounter, including their characteristic and purchasing behavior. Second is to understand the importance of tailoring strategies and communication styles to each customer type to build better relationship and increase sales. Third is to explain the concept of a target market and why is it essential for entrepreneurs to clearly define their ideal customer group. Fourth is to differentiate among various approaches to segmenting a target market such as demographic, geographic, psychographic, generational, and behavioral. And lastly is to apply knowledge of customer types and market segmentation to create an effective marketing and customer services strategies in a real-world business scenario. So first, I'm going to discuss to you the type of customers. So every customer is unique. Hence, there is no single formula to approach them. In order to identify the best approach on how to handle a customer, so it is necessary to know them first. So, in a business setting or in a business real-world scenario, it is important to know the different characteristics of our customers in order for us businesses to be aware of what are the things that they need and what are the things that they want. So in order for us to give them the best approaches that would in order for us to give the best approaches in order for them to be satisfied. So here are some of the type of customers that an entrepreneur may encounter in his business. So the first type of customer is the potential pandoy or potential customer. So in this principle, so pandoy cannot be considered a customer, yet he needs a little bit of convincing and assistance to hopefully change into quickly making him a paying customer. He may show interest in the product or the services offering by filling out a contact form, signing up in a newsletter, or seeking a question through live chat or personal messages. Said interest should be capitalized by an entrepreneur by providing him the information about the benefits of the offering. So the entrepreneur must make pandoy aware that he is available for help, for advice anytime for him. Surely, pandoy customers shall appreciate such gesture even if he does not have any immediate need for said assistance. So, a pandoy customer, based on the definition, is someone who shows interest in your product or services, but he or she hasn't made a purchase yet. So he might inquire, browse, or ask questions about your product or services, but still needs more convincing or information before buying. So one of the example is you own a fitness gym. So upon the customer walks in and asks about the monthly membership fee of your fitness gym, looks around in your environment area, takes your flyer, and leaves. So he hasn't joined yet, but clearly showed interest by asking some of your services in your fitness gym, and for example, taking a flyer and looks around in your fitness area gym. So that is one of the characteristics of the potential pandoy or the potential customer. So the second type of customer is the new nut or the new customer. New nut is fresh customer who has just bought something for the first time from a businesses. So an entrepreneur must always be watchful in dealing with first-time customer. As the saying goes, first impression is the last impression. So it is understood that he bought the product and or services for the first time in a beginner or using it. So it is vital to create a smooth adoption period for not customer. An investment of time to explain how a product and or services offering works may lead to success in more future businesses from the same customer. Hence, it is best to offer applicable assistance and make contact option open with this customer. Establishing a customer relationship would help in converting NitNut customer into a loyal customer. So, based on the definition, so a NitNut is basically, it is a new customer that purchases your product or trying your services. So, a NitNut customer is someone who has just bought from you from the first time. So, he is unfamiliar with your product and needs guidance and good services for become a repeat customer. So, for example, you buy, or for example, a NitNut customer or a new customer buys a certain product of yours, specifically a skincare product. Of course, he or she is a new customer, so expected that he or she have lots of questions and how he or she going to apply the product that he bought from you. What would be the first step in applying the skincare product? What will be the second step? What will be the next step? So additionally, so this kind of customer is sila ang customer nga daghan og mga questions regarding about your product. Ang daghan pud sila og mga follow-up questions. What will be the benefits? What would be the proper way on how to use the skincare product? Of course, as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, so you should provide your customer with proper guidance, with proper guidance and proper step-by-step process on how to use that skincare product. So, if you provide a good service to your customer, so there are instances that the customer will be your loyal customer. From NitNut customer, then it will become your loyal customer if you provide them with proper guidance and with proper customer services. So the third type of the customer is the impulsive ikoy or the impulsive customer. So impulsive ikoy is a customer that make an instant decision based on craving or when provided that the conditions are right. So he is highly influenced by his current mood when shopping. He needs not much convincing to buy for as long as he wants to buy something with less step. He is even less interested in value proposition. So an entrepreneur must not waste said buying impulse buyer when it comes. When ikoy makes a query, an entrepreneur should give a quick and short response or else his impulsive will drop. It is a challenge to handle ikoy customer because he always wants fast and brief help for all the useful products available at that point of time. He wants all that useful products in his front in order to buy what he likes from the display. Although, when treated properly, ikoy customer could provide high percentage of sales for the company. So, this type of customer, which is the impulsive ikoy, is someone or customers. This kind of customer is kalit-kalit or having a impulse decision based on her mood and based on her wants, not needs. So, an ikoy buys an impulse. So, his purchase is driven by emotion or sudden craving rather than need. So, if he sees something interesting and easy to buy, he'll get it. So for example, if a certain product, if for example in a mall setting, niya na ay usa ka impulsive buyer, so if makita niya nga that kind of certain product is ganahan siya, and then catchy sa iyahang mata, ganahan siya sa preferences or interest niya, iyahag yun ang paliton bisag dili niya kaayo need, iyahara siyang want. So that is what impulsive buyer or impulsive customer wants. So for example, you're selling clothes online. Ikoy sees your new hoodie on TikTok, loves the design, and buys it instantly without asking questions just because he likes it in that moment. So, of course, this kind also of customer buy their wants based on their mood and based on the design if they like it. So, basically, they purchase it nga walay pagduha-duha. So, the fourth type of the customer is the discount daboy or the discount customer. So, discount daboy is a customer who never buys a product or avail of service on full price but only on a discounted rate. Said customer never shop for anything off sale. It is difficult to retain daboy customer once the discount stops applying. An entrepreneur must offer an extra added value or even go beyond the limit initial offerings such as a good customer service to make daboy have a second thought before switching to the competitor. In reality, the group of daboy has the biggest slice of the pie in the total customer of any businesses. Daboy customer is the least loyal among customers as he moves easily from one store to another when availing better offers. The more discounts, the more daboy will visit the store and makes purchase. So based from the definition, so the discount daboy or the discount customer is that he or she only purchase or buy a certain product or services if it is a discounted or buy one take one free. So a daboy customer is always looking for discount, and he rarely buys at full price and tends to jump from one seller to another for the best deal. So, for example, if makita sa usa ka discount daboy customer nga nag-sale ang diri nga store, so of course, he will going to purchase it. Kay ganahan mo siya discounted price. On the next day also, nakawitness na po na nakabalita si daboy customer nga ang the second na po nga tindahan is na po sale or discounted price. And then, si discount daboy is ato na po siya more purchase ato nga store nga nag-offer og mga discounted price og mga promo prices. So, that is what discount daboy customer or the discount customer works. So, they only purchases items if it is discounted or if it is promo or a buy one take one. So for example, so you announce a buy one get free promo on your shoes product. So of course the double customer immediately buys. But once the promo ends, so he stops purchasing and looks elsewhere for deals. So that's what discount daboy or the discount customer characteristic. 5 types of, or the 5th type of customer is a loyal lando or loyal customer. So based from its name, so this customer is loyal to your businesses or in your services. So loyal lando is a satisfied customer that keeps coming back to one store for more purchase. So lando is a good brand's ambassador but can make recommendation of a business to his family and friends, thus attracting a stream of new customers. A customer like him can help an entrepreneur grow his business using word of mouth. The role of an entrepreneur is to make certain that lando stays happy about the product and or the service as well as the businesses. An entrepreneur may ask lando customer what makes him so pleased with the business and then replicate his experiences with the rest of the customers. So normally, the segment of Lando is just 20% of the total customer, but it is responsible for the most part of the company's profit. There should be regular communication with Lando customer who wants individual attention on a profile and respectful way from the business. So this type of customer is your loyal customer. So they are the one who always buy your product because they are satisfied, specifically if your product is good or your services is good. Additionally, this kind of customer is siya po daw sa maka-help nimo in which nga mapagrow pa imong businesses because they will recommend your product or services to their friends, to their family, especially if they are satisfied to your product or services. So they will going to use a word for mouth nga mga pamaagi para ma-convince ang mga lain na po nga customer nga mo buy or mo purchase sa imuha nga product or services. So that what make a loyal customer makes a satisfied customer, or makes your product or makes your businesses a Lando customer is your dream customer also. So he buys regularly, loves your product or services, and even tells others about it. So he or she is the most valuable type because he supports your businesses over time. So for example, so you own a small bakery, so Lando comes every week to buy his favorite bread and always recommends your store to others. So so that ends the different types of customers. So the first type would be the Pandoy customer. The second is the Nitnat or the new customer. The third is the impulsive ikoy or the impulsive customer. The fourth is the discount double or the discount customer. And the last is the loyal Lando or the loyal customer. So those are the 5 types of customer that the entrepreneur or the businesses may encounter during running his or her businesses. So these 5 characteristics or 5 types of customers so now I'm going to this, since we already done with the type of customer, I will be going to discuss next topic, which is all about the target customer group. So what is a target market group? So a target market is a group of possible customer or organizational buyers to whom a company wants to sell its product or services. Therefore, it makes sense to focus all the marketing efforts to reach them with a company's marketing message. An entrepreneur needs to identify exactly the pain points and preferences that his product or services offering would be resolving for the intended user. So it must be clear who those people that are in need or want of this offering, whether they are individuals, families, or businesses. When the pain points under concern are determined, there is a possibility that the entrepreneur has defined the target market. So there are some approaches in exactly describing the perfect customer. Namely, first is the customer or business. So first is the customer or business. So a product or services may be intended for a business to business, the B2B, or business to consumer, or the B2C market. So in this customer or business, so there are 2 groups. It could be in the B2B, which is the business to business, and B2C, in which belongs to business to customer. So for example, in a B2C or in a business to consumer, so a bakery selling cakes to individuals for birthdays or weddings and targeting customer directly. However, in a business to business is that a company selling baking equipment or ingredients to the bakeries is targeting other businesses. So it is clearly stated in the example that when we say business to consumer, so it is basically directly targeting to consumer itself. So just like the example, the bakery to the bakery. So the purpose of the bakery is to sell bread or cakes. So they offer or they target their customer directly. So of course, those people nga ganahan sa their bread or the cake. So, direct sila nga muhatag sa ilang customer. However, in a business to business, for example, a company selling baking equipments, baking tools, baking materials, or baking ingredients. So, their target customer is those bakery owner. Again, those company who sells baking equipments, baking tools, baking materials, or baking ingredients. So their target customer is directly to the bakery stores. So that's how a customer or business work. So the second approaches is the geographic. So this is defining the target market according to the place where possible customers live or work, take vacation, or do businesses. For instance, in a local brick and mortar or mortar store, potential customer may come from 2-meter radius or inside the barangay. So in the geographic segmentation, so this focuses on where your customers are located. So for example, a sari-sari store in the Barangay Poblacion Clarin Norte, ang ihang target customer is those living within the barangay or nearby areas of the Barangay Norte Clarin Bohol. So meanwhile, ang beach resort sa Panglao, ang ihang mga target customer is katong mga tourists from outside Bohol or from international, especially during the summer. Of course, another one is, for example, in Baguio City. So, unsa may pwede ikuan sa Baguio City, ibaligya. For example, kay tugnaw man sa Baguio City. So, basically, pwede sila maligya og mga clothing store, mga hoodie, jacket, bakaha, because of the cold climate nga naa sa Baguio City. Again, pwede sila, ang Baguio City is known man siya nga cold climate. So, ang mga entrepreneurs dito or mga people living in the Baguio, pwede sila mo sell o pwede sila mamaligya o mga clothing store or mga jacket baka or hoodie due to its climate condition. So, that is how a geographic segmentation presents or work based on the location. So next is the demographic. So this target market here is describing by means of age, the gender, the income level, the educational background, the marital status, and other areas of an individual customer's life. So in a demographic setting, in a demographic segmentation, so this can occur in age, gender, income level, like educational background of the customer. So for example, so a diaper brand targets. So of course, diaper brand man, ang iyang target ng mga customer is ang mga parents nga naay mga bata or mga parents with infants age and life stage. Next is, for example, a luxury car. So, kinsa may mga target customer if magtukod kag mga luxury car. Of course, kadto mga people, imuhang target customer is kadto mga people nga high income earners. Another one is katong mga og na kay makeup brand. So og na kay makeup brand, so kinsa man imuha mga target customer? Of course katong mga dalagita, katong mga daga nga nag-edad og 18 to 35 above. So mo na ang imuha nga mga target customer. Another example is kanang magkuan ka og review center. So kinsa may imuha ang target market? So if mag-open ka og review center, basically ang imuhang target customer would be katong mga fresh graduates nga katong mga fresh graduates preparing for their board exam. So that is how demographic works, based on their gender, based on the age of a person, income level, and educational background. The fourth approaches to target market group is the psychographic. So psychographic characteristics are based from the intrinsic traits of a customer, such as personality, lifestyle, social status, or activities, interests, opinions, and attitudes. So psychographic itself, so it is the intrinsic traits of an individual person. So, this looks into personality, lifestyle, values, and interests of a certain people, or certain individual, or a certain customer. So, for example, if you're going to build a vegan restaurant that offers only vegetables, so of course, your target customer would be those people who will health conscious. So those people who only eat healthy foods, those people who maintains health conditions. So that would be your target customer if you were going to establish a vegan restaurant. Another one is if you're going to target or if you're going to build a luxury spa. So of course what would be your target customer? If open ka og luxury spa, of course, this may appeal to individuals who value self-care, relaxation, and inclusivity. Another, if you were going to establish a fitness center, so of course, your target customer would be your people who value their wellness and a peaceful lifestyle, and also if they're going to if a certain customer, if ganahan siya nga ma-provide pa siya health og more kanang strong and flexible. So that would be your target customer if you're going to build a fitness center. So another also is a travel agency. So in a travel agency, so imuhang target customer, of course, kategorya nga mga individual or person nga ganahan mo travel in different areas or different places. So that is how a psychographic works. So the fifth is the generation. So a lot of businesses these days define their target market based on which generation they were born in, namely baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and even centennials. So, in a generation-based segmentation, so this divides the market by generational cohorts. For example, from baby boomers from 1946 to 1964, so they may prefer traditional marketing and may value practicality. So, in a Gen X, from 1965 to 1980. So, this would be teach savvy but value work-life balance. And from the millennials from 1981 to 1996, so they may be prefer digital experiences, social media, and eco-friendly brands. However, in a Gen Z generation, in 1997 to 2012, so this highly digital love short from content and support brands that stand for something. So for example, a social media influencer promoting skincare products targets millennials, and Gen Z through platforms like TikTok and Instagram. So that is how a generation-based segmentation works. So next is the cohort. So some companies look for their target market using cohorts. A cohort is a group of subjects who share a significant characteristic of typically subjects who experience a common event in selected period such as birth or graduation. So a cohort is a group of people who experience a similar event during the same time period. For example, students who graduated during the COVID-19 pandemic may prefer online job applications and virtual work environments. However, the OFW returning from abroad after a decade may form a cohort that has specific needs, such as starting small business or integrating into local communities. So that is how a cohort works. The next approaches is the life stage. Other businesses use stage of life for target marketing, whether it's infancy, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, or old age. So in a life stage segmentation, this is based on the current stage of life a person is in. It could be a child, a student, a working adult, or a retiree. So for example, a toy company. So what will be the target customer of a toy company? Of course, their target customer would be those children and their parents. Another is the real estate. So what would be the target customer of a real estate business? So they will be target customer in your a newly married couples looking to buy their first home. Another is mga insurance. So what would be the target customer if tukod ka og business nga insurance or insurance companies? So they target retirees looking for health or life insurance. So life events like marriage, childbirth, or retirement often influence buying behavior in a life stage segmentation. The last one is the behavioral. So another way of finding a target market is based on customer loyalty, location-based, customer usage, and others. So behavioral segmentation focuses on how people behave as customers' purchase habits, loyalty, or how they use a product. For example, a Shopee or Lazada users who shop heavily during Double Day, sales like 11/11 or 12/12. Another example is the coffee shop chains like Starbucks reward frequent buyers with loyalty points. Another one is a customer who buys cakes only during birthday, so it could be in an occasion-based behavior. And lastly, a coffee shop gives a free drink on a customer birthday. It is also an occasion-based behavior. So businesses use this behavioral approach to reward loyalty or create a social promotion during specific occasion. So those are the 8 approaches in describing the perfect target market group or in a perfect customer. First, the customer or businesses, the geographic, the demographic, psychographic, generation, cohort, life stage, and behavioral. So in conclusion, understanding the different type of customer is crucial for any entrepreneur who aims to build a successful businesses. Each customer type, from the curious potential pandoy to the brand loyalty or loyalando, requires a unique approach to engagement, service, and marketing. Recognizing these behaviors allow business owners to create target experiences that cater to the needs and motivation of their clients. Likewise, defining a clear target market group helps in focusing business efforts, saving resources, and maximizing impact by aligning products or services with the specific preferences and problems of a defined audiences. Entrepreneurs can better position themselves in the market, foster customer loyalty, and drive sustainable businesses growth. So, thank you for listening, and that will be all. Thank you.